Right, buddy, this is going to be a different sort of video. This is going to be a match reaction for Newcastle's game versus Aston Villa now. Again, I do watch a lot of football and a lot of Premier League football. So any game I do watch that is not Manchester United related, I will give a quick match reaction just to have my sort of thoughts on the game. If you do like it, leave a like. Let's get into it. Now listen, Newcastle vs Villa, it was the first 0-0 second Premier League game of the 25-26 season, and it was a pretty interesting game. I think Newcastle certainly did miss Isak as their vocal point, and I think that's something you can see early on in the game. They just missed that vocal point in the number 9 in that position. They had so many opportunities where you think if Isak's there, they immediately score. I think Aston Villa, listen, it was 100% a red card. I think the way that he brought Konza down was, the way Konza brought him down, again, he was the last man. In terms of VAR, again, we've had some few dodgy decisions, especially that one yesterday from Senesi at Anfield. But yeah, listen, overall, I think Newcastle deserved to win. I thought Aston Villa, again, had chances where they could have scored. Watkins, Marlon had a few towards the end, Morgan Rogers. But from the get-go, Aston Villa looked behind the cross, and it was weird to see. I don't know what it was, but Aston Villa, yeah, I think Newcastle just look up for it. I think Alanga did very well. He should have scored the early chance that he had. But I think in terms of this game, I think Eddie Howe will be fuming. I think he needs to bring in a number 9. It's guaranteed that Isak's going to go. They've obviously missed out on Ekitike and Sesko. So again, they need to bring in a number 9 because I think they do have a very, very good team. I think defensively they look very, very good. Nick Pope all the way down, and the midfield very, very sharp as well. Trippier, Livramento, like they've got a very, very decent team. On Aston Villa, I think they did a good job defensively. When they needed to, Matty Cash made some very, very good blocks. Digne against Alanga was a very, very good game. But I think that first half it was full blown Aston Villa getting cooked by Newcastle, and then they slowly got into it. Obviously the red card did change the game. That's where I thought Newcastle really were going to score. They had a few chances off set pieces, but Unai Emery's team knew what they wanted to do. Obviously they were missing Emi Martinez in goal, but I think the keeper that stepped in did a very, very good job. He made some good saves. I thought his distribution was good as well. But yeah, I think it was a very, very interesting game. I think Newcastle definitely missing Isak. That was kind of the biggest thing that we saw from the game. I think Aston Villa, again, they had moments. Tielemans put in that very, very good cross, which again no one anticipated. They had a few shots, and McGinn looked alright. But yeah, all in all, it wasn't the greatest performance by both teams. Again, the first 0-0 of the Premier League. Was definitely a fascinating one. I don't think out of all the games that was the one that was supposed to be a 0-0. But again, it's the second game. The first game for Newcastle, the first game for Villa. I think they did put in some good performances, and I think Unai Emery will be more frustrated than Eddie Howe. I think Eddie Howe knows he has a pretty complete side. Yes, they haven't brought in many players in the transfer window. They haven't brought in many players in the transfer window. Alanga really is the main one, but again, they do have a decent team. They are a good side. They're a hard-working side, and I think you can see that in the game. As I said, I think Eddie Howe will be pretty frustrated, but all in all, a decent game, a good option. One player that I did really like in the Aston Villa team was Tielemans. I thought he did very, very well on the ball. I thought Kamara as well, Onana. Like, they do have a very, very good team. In terms of stats, I think, again, it was a lot more shots and a lot more front foot. It was a lot on the front foot from Newcastle more than Aston Villa. I think they went for it more, and then obviously the red card changed the game. But yeah, all in all, I'm going to leave it there. That's been a quick match reaction. Newcastle 0, Aston Villa 0. Let me know if you want to see more of these. I might do one for the game later on today from Man City against Wolves later on, because I think that's going to be an interesting game. Wolves without Cunha, without Aït-Nouri. City obviously bought in Rangers, they bought in Aït-Nouri, they've bought in Cherki, so that they have a very, very good team, and I think they're going to have a big season as well. So yeah, we'll be back potentially later on, depending if I watch that game. And yeah, let me know your thoughts. But Newcastle 0. I thought Alanga did alright on his debut. Again, should have scored. But all in all, I think Newcastle should have done better. But that's my opinion.